Okay, welcome guys. I'm Eva from Pyramid VC and also the co-founder of Aurasci. Today my talk will be why DeSci matter for Web3. So, like everyone knows, Web3 is often viewed as a financial driven about token speculation and trading stuff. But I want to share you another story, like how Web3 can power in science, one of the humanity's most critical infrastructure. So today I will connecting the bottlenecks in our current research system within the primitive of Web3 and show why DeSci, which is so-called like decentralized science, is not just a movement of science, but also a Web3 applied credibility layer. So let's start with the reality of today's research system. So in funding, NIH grant success rate hover around 17%, and researchers spending about 38 working days every year just writing the proposals. In collaboration, more than 70% researchers reporting failing to reproduce the publishing result, and about 80% data set disappear within 2 decades. So for the peer review, the median time for submission acceptance is 123 days, while the reviewers contribute nearly $2 billion worth of unpaid labors every year. And also in the commercialization, the high percentage university patents are never licensed, and while bringing a new drug to market taking about 12 years and about $2.6 billion. Those are not small inefficiencies. Those are systematic coordination failures that slow discoveries within the resource and erode the trust. So where DeSci come in, and the DeSci apply Web3 stuff into the science within 3 guiding principles. The first is the decentralization, shifting control from closed commits and publisher to the community-driven governance. And second is the transparency, which making the data, method, and peer reviews verifiable and auditable by default. Collaboration and open science to global and inclusive participation from PhDs to the citizen scientists. The goal is pretty simple: transfer the science from a trust-based system into one that is verifiable by design. So now, how does the Web3 power in this? Web3 primitives map directly onto the research chain, where blockchains secure the provenance. Smart contracts release the fund when milestones are reached, DAO enabling global governance, and IP NFTs tokenize intellectual properties with the embedded royalties. Decentralization storage, making the data permanent and auditable, with the use of the idea of openness, reproducibility, accountability can now enforce through the codes. So when we put this together, a new stack emerged within the Web3 as infrastructure. DeSci reimages the entire workflow. We have the funding, data integrity, peer review, commercialization, and increasingly the AI and the health data. So let's work those one by one. So the first is the funding. In a traditional way, scientists waiting more than a year for the grant reviews and with a low success rate. And for the DeSci flipping this logic, the DAOs can release the micro grants in weeks instead of the years, and smart contracts tie the funding to the milestones, ensuring the accountability. And also for the community, it's not just agency which can decide where the resource go. So there's an example. So crowdfunding, which popularized by the Gitcoin grants, this model has already been applied to the early DeSci projects. Small communities donate are amplified by the matching pools. So if the hundreds of researchers or citizens or maybe normies that can contributing a few dollars to support, which can open up, it could be like open data repository or maybe rare disease study, the collective signal attracts significant matching funds. And this mechanism making the fund more democratic, rewarding projects with a broader community support instead of like just a favorable or few gatekeepers. And And also once the research is funded, the collaboration and data are the next challenges. So today, 70% of the research result cannot be reproduced and most data sets are lost. Sensitive information like genomic data is trapped in the silos. DeSci creates a different foundation, which DeSci can, the content addressed storage ensure the permanence, on-chain attribution giving the credit to every contributor, and privacy-preserving compute, which using the zero-knowledge proof or other methods can allows us to have using the health data without exposing it. So for the traditional peer review is slow, expensive, and large unworded. Average review cycles can take months and cost the journal thousands in processing fees and relies on billions of dollars of unpaid labor. And also I believe research hub will introducing more in this part. So DeSci imagines the review as open and incentivized, which researchers can share preprints or research notes first and receiving the community feedback alongside or before the formal peer review. And reviewer can earn bounties or tokens for their evaluation, and review and comments are public visible and tied to the reputation and transparent to the broader community. So even when strong research is produced, it's often taught at the lab bench. Studies show that up to 95% patents are never licensed, and developing a single drug typically taking 10 to 15 years and costing hundreds of millions to several billion dollars per year. And DeSci brings in these values of death, which IP NFT fractionalize the ownership and making the intellectual property liquid and investable. And smart contract automated licensed and royalties flows into the transparency. And those pool resource to the funding translation projects often ignored by the traditional capital. This is not just accelerating the science, it's creating an entire new market for the scientific IP. So now, last but not the least, looking ahead, AI and health data can be decided. AI model needs high quality, verifiable data, but today data is fragmented and often unverifiable. Health and genomic data are especially hard to access due to the privacy law. And DeSci provides the path forward, which verifiable data fits the privacy trail and fair standard embedded by default, and decade proof and federated compute to unlock the sensitive dataset without breaking the HIPAA or GDPR. This is allow AI to train on trustworthy, privacy-preserving data, turning the black box model into an auditable and scientific tool. So now we came into the very important of this talk. So why does DeSci matter for Web3? I think it comes with three parts. The first is the credibility. The science produce a measurable, verifiable result and supporting the science giving a Web3 legitimacy. The second is the utility, which smart contract, DAOs, NFT, and ticket proof can finally using beyond the finance. And third is the adoption. By supporting global science, Web3 connecting with the university, pharma, governments, or even more public institutions. The future is all about scaling, which expanding the pilots, creating the standard, achieving regulation clarity. So DeSci transformed Web3 from a speculation into an essential infrastructure, which credibility layer of the knowledge economy. So this is the last part. So about our side, we are a DeSci community and bring the DeSci movement to the worldwide. We are doing a lot of things, for example, content, events, hackathons. So if you are interested about knowing about what we are currently doing, just feel free to check out our socials. And also we have currently running a hackathon right now, and you can find more information on our Twitter. Thanks so much.